Welcome back to the Virgo channel. My name is Laura. If you're new to the channel and anything of any importance or relevance to the channel, you can find in the description box below. Again, this is a shadow healing channel. I do look at what goes on the surface, but we like to go deep. We don't just end at what your person's going to do and why they're going to do it. We want to integrate the spiritual wound so that you can actually shapeshift your situation when you're dealing with a karmic situation. It means that there's a situation that you have an opportunity to learn. We associate karma with bad, though, because a lot of times what happens is that the experience that we're learning creates pain. So a lot of times we can avoid that pain by doing something different. But we have to understand why our person does what they do and what our triggers are, what we do to contribute to the undesirable life experience at hand. This is why we want to do shadow readings. And the reason why is not even because of the situation that's at hand. If you don't heal that situation is going to continue to play out in different scenarios, different situations, even different partners. It's just what happens. Because again, you're a spiritual being having human experience. You're supposed to be learning that you're not separate from unconditional love, from the universe, from God. That is all the same thing. And so when we have spiritual blocks, that creates a shadow. And those shadows are parts of ourselves that we have detached from, disassociated from, rejected. And so we have to integrate that energy. We can't just get rid of negative energy. We need to transmute the energy. Otherwise, again, those type of karmic things will continue to play out. All right. Just so that you know, to understand exactly why we do these type of readings and why you would want to know what's going on a deeper level within your situation. Now, if you want to enter into winning a free shadow reading with me, you must like the video, subscribe to the channel, and write the word of the video in your comment bar. The word of the video is always how I like to start off my readings. Is how Spirit tells me where to start. Look at this. See this card? I never take it out of the deck. And the reason why is because I feel like it adds an element. It's like it's nothing. It's a chameleon, right? What is a chameleon? A chameleon is someone that becomes anyone that you want them to become. Again, they kind of stalk you out. So I'm kind of feeling like, Virgo, you're connected to someone that you're actually not in communication with, but someone that's kind of like studying you, kind of like learning about you. Feel like they're not happy in their own life. It's a form of escapism. I feel like at first they were just very attracted to you, but they are watching the way that you live your life, and if they see that you're genuinely happy, and for whatever reason, this irritates them a little bit that you're happy. I feel like because they're not in your life, I feel like they expected you to be a little sad or long for them. So I feel like you're in separation from this person, and they've never left you because their attention, their energy is always on you from afar. And like you said, I feel like they're going to approach you, but they've studied you. And part of this is to like create that, synergy of, oh, everything that you're into, I'm into. Oh, we have a lot in common. That type of energy they want to create so that you like trust them is like feeling like maybe in the past you weren't able to trust this person. And we're going to see why I'm feeling that from this card by the cards that I pull out, and we're going to see what else they do, what the hidden truths are, what the whole point of this relationship is, why you attracted this person into your life. Again, we have to say we get the energy that we need, not necessarily the energy that we want. So, especially when a person is acting like a chameleon, it means that they're not strong within themselves. They don't have enough of their own identity. They're not confident to approach you in it, like just as themselves. They don't feel like they're enough, is the energy there. I wish I could share my good news with you. I feel like they're learning, they're going through this awakening right now. Like I said, I feel like they were very attracted to you, and that's what made them, spy on you. But then it wound up becoming more. Like, again, like, wow, I could be friends with this person. Wow, I like the way that they do that. Wow, I wish I had a life like that. They're happy. They seem to be happy, where they're not happy in their life. And they're not happy because chameleons listen to other people. They do what other people want. And then what happens is they live that way for a certain amount of time, and then they're not happy. And then they have to, abandon that. And so their relationships aren't good. So they don't trust themselves because, again, you have to always come from your true self. Because when you come from a persona, you can only keep it up for so long. And if you're coming from your persona, you're most likely being led by passion, not being led by truth, all the time. And passion is good if there is truth. Otherwise, passion with no truth becomes toxic. I wish things could be different. But this person's like afraid to approach you. They're afraid to show everything. I feel like they're connected to someone else. This is the energy there, but they're looking at their life at least, where I feel like when you were dealing with this person, they weren't. I left when I saw you with someone. I feel like that's like you left when you felt like there was someone, but because this person has someone, they always, project. They project. They don't really want to be with that karmic. It's more like they are existing with the karmic. This is why they're so used to playing a role. This is why they always, again, come from that persona part of themselves, which isn't the real self. The real self isn't happy. The real self is depressed and does what everybody else wants them to do. They're like a puppet. So, can't invite you into my life and to actually see all that. I've created persona that you fell in love with. So I can't really see that. But I know who I am. I don't feel good about myself. So I'm looking at you and looking to see what I can get on you. And we see what we look for. Again, the person that is connected to you is like has people attached to them that control and manipulate them. So they've lived in that environment for so long that, of course, they've been conditioned to think that everyone's like that. That's what's bad when you're a chameleon. It's like you don't know who you are, so you're very easily manipulated. And but the thing is, this person could tap into their intuition at any time to feel like that it's wrong. They know that it's wrong. They're afraid to do something different. Thing is, they have this intuitive connection with you. They have this emotional connection to you. This part of themselves they've usually cut off from. So I feel like, again, they know that they can't give you anything, but there's this feeling until they break away from that situation. I know that I crossed the line with you because they didn't tell you about that karmic. It's almost like self-explanatory. So we have to ask ourselves, like, what type of relationship is this, first of all? Maybe spirit will say, did this person learn anything from this connection? And why did you attract this person into your life? You're a magnet of whom what comes into your life. We get what we need, not all the time what we want. This is a pretty much self-explanatory reading right off the bat. It's like they have feelings, but it's like they have to change their entire life. I'm tired of being away from you physically. I'm trying to process my fear so I can come back to you. So that's why I'm saying it's like, so the whole point of this reading right now is that this is what's happened. This is where they are. But on a deeper level, they want to come back to you. they want their life different. And I feel like they see that their life could be different with you. Now that sounds cheesy, but I feel like it's because you're very independent. You're someone, again, the karmic is someone that's very clingy, again, is controlling them all the time to the point that they don't have a life. Clear the illusions of the 3D world. Don't take everything at face value. There's a lot more going on spiritually and energetically than you can see. So it's like, again, this person doesn't really understand why they're really called to change. It's just, it doesn't feel right. I don't believe that they've ever had a spiritual connection before. And I also think with you, you're like, yeah, there's a connection, but look at all this. Look at everything that they did. And what spirit is saying is like, there are things happening underneath on a subconscious level. There are changes. This person is healing. So when they come back, they're going to be a different person. You're also a different person. You're not going to just take things at face value. You're going to want proof. You're going to value yourself more. You're going to create more boundaries with this person. I feel like when this person first came into your life, there wasn't. And this person then took it for granted, and then they lied because there was a sense of wanting their cake and eat it too. I'm so used to being with people that control me and to this karmic, and no, there was no real emotional connection. However, I've been conditioned. I've been guilted. I've been shamed. I've been manipulated. And what holds us together is money. What holds us together is things. Not the right things, but to leave on a spiritual level doesn't really make sense. And they're not a spiritual person. So I think it was the constant bobbing back and forth that this person really had to work through. I'm triggered and old patterns have surfaced and it hurts. So again, like that's why I said they have to work through the spiritual issues, and the spiritual issues are really not feeling good enough of understanding why am I connected to people that are controlling my life, that I'm not happy. Why do I have to cut off the way that I feel in order to like live amongst people, and then really looking and seeing what do I want out of my own life. Like this person never did that before. And so, like I said, the triggers are I'm afraid I don't, what if I lose all my money? What if things don't work out with you? What if you don't like the real me? Like all these what ifs, which is what a trigger does. A trigger makes a person overthink. That's how they get in their own way and they sabotage the connection a lot of times. And I feel like the people that are around them know this about them. And they deliberately have done that to control them and to manipulate them, where your person is like finally aware of that and finally aware of what they want, but they still have to work through the process. The actual grounding process is a lot slower, to be honest with you. It's not like, oh, all of a sudden I'm a different person. It's not. These feelings overwhelm me and I become afraid. Sometimes I even run away from you because of it. And then, of course, the depth of this connection, where it's like you're asking them to be real. They can't be a chameleon. They can't, like, you don't want them to do what you want them to do. You want them to do what they want to do, but then also to come to this even ground to even see whether or not you guys can work out. This person is either used to being in full control or not any control at all, being told what to do and being supervised or just ignored. Like there's no real love that the karmic has for your person or for this person out and like I said, I just feel like they're connected to the karmic for outside things. And at this point, it's like they're being asked, do you want to be real or do you want to hold on to your material things? The next solstice or equinox will bring an important shift for us. So I feel like this person feels like come this spring, they're going to be ready to come towards you. So right now, like I said, they're thinking about everything. They're working through their process. So we have to ask ourselves, why would you pull a person into your life? What are you supposed to learn from this connection? Really, because we can say this person was weak. We can say this person doesn't set boundaries. You might like be able to look at some of your behaviorisms to say, do I do that with the people close to me? But then what is the spiritual, what lesson, what are we supposed to reparent? Because if we're attracting this person to us, it means that there's a wound, and that wound most of the time comes from our inner child. It's that situation that had occurred, and now it triggered this old wound within us. And so it's come to a head for us to look at it. So we have to say, what are those things? Rage, that's fear. There's only two energies, love and fear. So when we have rage, that there's fear. But I feel like feelings of inadequacy, feelings of not good enough. So it doesn't mean that the parent was abusive. Sometimes our parents have the best intentions, but they suffer from anxiety. They suffer from their own traumas that they didn't heal and they pass them down. And this is what generational karma is. So it's like rage, again, in childhood, is really a taught behavior a lot of times when we look at the parents. And it's also a feeling of not being able to have, not feeling good enough. It's a real disrespect to the spirit. And then rebellion, it's like if I'm going to get it, I have to like I'm seen as bad. If I get it, I have to get it bad, or I'm also seen as bad. Like I go against the grain, like I'm asking for too much. Like it's never easy. It's like, and we never learn that lesson of like friendship, of love. Within a relationship, there should be a friendship. That's the foundation of a relationship. So when it's just love, lust, then a lot of times that's why it doesn't come out good. Relationships are something that happens over time. Friendship is, we're taught to love and to forgive and compassion and all the energies that make up what love actually is. And that doesn't happen from just going into a relationship. I feel like your person always got themselves into these relationships that were really passion driven and gave the person too much control because of it. And then, passion dies. Without friendship, relationship will not stay afloat. It's like, because real life happens. And so bills need to be paid and, problems happen and arise. So you really need to have a lot of love for the person that you wind up with. And I don't feel like these two ever did, but it was okay until, you came into their life. And what they see is like, I'm not really living for myself. I'm living to please this karmic and whoever the karmic's attached to, so that could be family of the karmics, friends of the karmics, people that they acquired together, meaning friends that they've acquired together, that they don't really even feel a connection to those people. They just play a role. They feel like they're a chameleon. They become who that person wanted them to become because it was easier, because of money. This person, again, is planning their way out, but I feel like it's a slow thing. And I think for you, it's like you felt too, like, again, relationships didn't feel good, created a lot of like anger, rebellion, like feeling like you're asking for too much in your relationship, where really it's like you want to create that friendship. You want to create a safe place, a safe like relationship that makes you feel as if you can trust them on an emotional level, which is what friendship really is based about on. It's not based on passion, it's based on trust and all the things that make up friendship. So I feel like that's why you both attracted each other. There's a lot of anger, a lot of rage. This person is actually living an experience connected to a karmic that's creating a lot of that rage because they're not, they can't be themselves at all, and when they try to, they are being told that they're being bad. It's like, so they're being dominated, where, like I said, I feel like this is something that is occurred in your life as well, and your inner child wounds of being dominated and not really approached, like even being brought up where you felt safe, right? So it's played out a few times, like it was saying how karmic lessons play out a few times within our lives. It doesn't just happen once. It's that it'll play out in different themes. So you were brought up by a parent that was very, very, very strict, didn't allow you to become you. There was a lot of rage, and that if you tried to, then you were seen as bad or that you were rebellious. And really, this created like no friends. Because again, trying to coming too much from the ego, not trusting yourself, enough creates other behaviorisms that got in the way. And this is a spiritual connection that, you know, the person realized that. And I feel like at one time you did too. So it's a karmic relationship because both people learn, but this is not a toxic one because your person is coming back with the right intention. So we have to say, well, what is the energy for those that view that want to be in this connection that we can pull into the situation to kind of understand it a little bit more, or what was the lesson that we're supposed to learn, or what's the guidance or advisory we should be getting? Self-love. So first and foremost, I feel like if you don't love yourself, you can't be a friend, right? So it's all about first giving to yourself first. I feel as if, again, your person wound up in relationships where people dominated them. And I feel like you wound up in relationships where either people dominated you or they didn't give anything. Neither way, they were never a friend. So in order to attract real friends that are going to honor you and respect you, you have to come from your true self. And that first begins by self-love. And self-love is not just about taking bubble baths and doing little rituals, but it's about having a love affair with yourself. It's about finding yourself. It's not about selling yourself short by being in a relationship like where you're married already. It's about balance is what I'm feeling. Like, be a friend first. Learn the art of friendship. Because again, if you came from a place of being not accepted, then any little thing can trigger you. A lot of times when you're with someone that you love, or you love them, and or you love each other, however, there's wounds, what happens is that we perceive things through the wound. So without the friendship, without learning the art of friendship, which is compassion and forgiveness and perseverance, and maybe even for this person, like, you have to do it for yourself. And that's what Spirit's saying. Don't be codependent. It's have a love affair with yourself and make sure your life is balanced. And that, yes, give this person time and energy and love, but in the right way. So if it was like a pizza pie, your life was a pizza pie, they would only get one slice. And so that they weren't codependent, that you give yourself most of the pie so that you're still finding yourself and evolving. And this way, this person can grow either with you or apart from you organically without you feeling the need that they have to come into your life and give you something, because this person just came from that. And if you feel like, well, then I'm sacrificing because they went through, no, this person needs to learn trust. This person needs to learn like that they can trust you. And that's not going to be through running into a relationship. It's going to be through the friendship process. It's going to be through learning, like letting that person have a love affair with themselves as you have a love affair with yourself, by you being the muse for them so that they can trust you, so they can build real intimacy, because betrayal happened here and on to this person. They were dominated and controlled by people that they loved to the point that they didn't know how to get out of it. And for you, that's something that you know what that feels like too, where people have used your energy and didn't allow you to be you. So now you're just on the other side of it. And remember, love is patient, love is kind. So as long as you're giving yourself that self-love, you'll be able to forgive, because you won't be expecting that person to give you what you can essentially give yourself, and you should be giving. I'm going to leave that there, Virgo. You let me know whether you resonated with this. And if you did, don't forget to write the word in your comment bar. The word was, it was chameleon. It was chameleon because there's nothing here. It's just, again, it becomes whoever you want it to become. Talk to you guys soon. Bye.